Hi there, my name is Amber Horsley, and it's my distinct privilege to share how amazing our God is with you. So this venue right here is one of my favorite places to connect with my kiddos. Just the time in the car breeds so many different opportunities to connect through the different questions they ask, through the podcasts we listen to, through the songs they sing. Just the car moments are some of my favorite moments that we have together. And we get plenty of opportunities since we do lots of driving between going hiking every week at different venues, or we go to Costco oftentimes about once a month. And so that'll be a little bit of a longer drive to one of the bigger surrounding communities. And so I have just found that it's, especially the longer drives, we get so many good questions. Adelie will ask me profound questions about God during some of these different, during trips or things that we're doing. It gives me opportunity to let them listen to different podcasts that can just inspire their mind and their creativity. Some of our favorites are Nat Theo, which is a biblical podcast that really points to God in nature and creation. So through a different animal featured every week. And it just really highlights how God gifted that animal to do what it does best and what that can tell us about us too, or things that we can learn from that. And then Real Cool History for Kids, where different historical people, figures, events, and just a biblical take on that. God's Great Earth. So this gentleman talks about his different experiences abroad, and he has a pretend-o-matic where you go back in time and you talk with one of the different people from the Bible, things like that. So Noah or Abraham or Zacchaeus or things like that. And my kiddos love all of them. They're really liking God's Great Earth right now because they also have a where they do a different sound from nature and you have to guess it, and a brain teaser and things like that. So they love all of them, and just gets everyone together and collaborating and talking about what we're hearing. And so I think it's some of those or other things that happen where it's just gives time to connect. One of the times we were listening to the Bible recap just recently, and I'm listening to Exodus right now. So in the Bible recap, we're going for Exodus, and we heard on there that God was angry. And Adelie from the backseat was like, God is not angry. Anger is a sin. And God never sins. God is sinless. And I'm like, very good, my dear. You are correct. God is sinless. But anger is not necessarily a sin. Anger, that emotion in humans, it's when you are anger, it's what you feel that when something you love is endangered. And us as humans, we tend to love things that shouldn't be loved per se. But God, he's going to get angry if his righteousness is in question, or if his goodness or these different qualities that he has are in question. And so in Moses, God was angry because Moses continued to question over and over, or just, hey, I can't do this. I can't do this. And even though God himself said, no, it's not you that's going to do it. It's me that's going to do it. So after Moses heard that and he continued going after it, at that point, God gets angry because really at that point, if Moses is saying, I can't do it anymore, even though he just heard it was God, Moses is saying that God can't do it. He is saying that God's not going to be able to hold up his end of the bargain. So he's saying that God's not enough. And so God's like, hold on here. And so, yes, he was angry. God was angry. But I loved the question that brought up, because we had that time in the car. It gave that opportunity to have that question or that dialogue with her about God and his anger, and there's righteous anger. And remember when Jesus was in the temple and he overturned the tables, there is righteous anger. And it's anger about when something about God's glory and him and his goodness and him as an entity is endangered. That is righteous anger. But as humans, most of our anger is sinful because it's not from that same place as what it is when God gets angry, things like that. But again, just the questions that come up and the dialogue we get to have. There's been plenty of other times where she talks about, just different aspects of when God died on the cross and what does that mean? Or just the other day we were driving and listening to different music, and the song was saying, where would I be without Jesus? Or who would I be without Jesus? Something like that. And Adelie from the back seat just pipes up, the world would be lost. We would be in a lost and broken world without Jesus. I'm like, girl, like I couldn't say it better if I tried. Like, absolutely. We would be sad and broken in this world. And just, it just breeds so many opportunities, because you never know. There is so many beautiful things and beautiful conversations that can come up while we're in the car.